think I have found the most underrated book in the history of books.
So, what severely underrated book?
Yeah, so sad.
Read, you're like, oh my goodness.
A book nut. Moving my office from one room to another room and the guest bed from one room to another room while I'm listening to the audiobook.
As I did her dress. I've just finished the book. I was like, what on earth did I just read? I'm on the verge of tears. That is making me feel some type of way I have not felt from a book in a very long time. When the Moon Hatched. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I have heard pros and cons about this. I've heard people love this book, and then I've heard people hate this book. How could you ever hate this book? This is going in my ultimate tier. This love story. What on earth is this? So let's do a reading vlog, okay? I literally think we might need to go and get the physical copy like right now so that we can annotate the rest of this book. We're about 50% in and I'm already ready to reread this book. Should we go to the bookstore?
You guys, I'm so excited. I literally just arrived at Books A Million. I was just thinking about the book on the way over here, and it's just such a good book. Like, I don't know why I'm so in love with it, but it's like the writing, the characters, and the love story. Like, there's just something about it. I literally just read a part where, oh, she's crying because she can like hear the rain and like the songs of the rain, and there's something about how cool it is that there's like these songs that just go to the elements, and I don't know, it's just such a cool concept, so beautiful, and it also shows the character development as we're going along. So let's go see if they have that book, and if not, then we're gonna just go back and we'll get it on Amazon. It'll be fine. If we need to get it, we have overnight shipping. So okay, I'm actually so sad. Like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean you don't have When the Moon Hatched at Books A Million? What? Again, severely underrated book. I know it's been a while since this came out, but the second book's about to come out, so you would think that like more places would have it. Like, Target doesn't even carry it anymore. That was so sad. Like, there were so many other books that I don't think are as good. I have one more place. I'm gonna go look. No place has it. Like, though I had a feeling they wouldn't have it, but they don't have it. And they're like, I can order it, and I'm like, it's okay, thanks, I appreciate that. But, okay, we're gonna go back and let's read it on the Kindle and let's order it on Amazon, because I do have a gift card though, and it's only $12 on Amazon. But I was also so sad. I keep seeing this beautiful fairy loot version of it, and I'm like, I'm so mad I didn't know about this earlier, or else I would have gotten the special edition, because it's one of the few special editions I'm like, I would 100% have gotten. I knew deep down I was gonna love this book. Like, I knew deep down. Like, don't you know those books that you're anticipating because you know you're gonna love it? This was one of those for me. So I should have gotten.
We're gonna go get like shorts on and a bathing suit on because the UV is a 6. It's never a 6. And we're gonna eat our food and start listening to the audiobook. It quite literally feels wrong to be wearing a bathing suit right now. It is February, but I do want to make some coffee when we're going out, but I do feel like exposed right now. Yeah, so let's make some coffee.
This right now has been my favorite cereal. I got it from TJ Maxx and it still has this price sticker on it, but it has been so good. I'm also bringing outside some of my leftover guac and chips, and then I just want to hurry on and get out there while the sun is still out because it has not been out since the beginning of fall. So, but I think we're gonna read until my phone dies outside because that's how I'm listening to the audiobook on Libby too. As I'm reading, I'm immersively reading. So I'm listening to the audiobook that I got from my library, and then I'm reading it on Kindle Unlimited. So that's where I have not bought this book yet. I'm gonna buy that book. So once we come back in, then I'm gonna get it on Amazon because this is a must that I need to get this. Like it's not a want, it's a need. So let's go. Let's stop yapping and let's carry on reading. Let's go. Okay, I am so beyond excited right now. It's a little redneck, but it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I just didn't want to drive all the way back to the beach today. And this is a perfect because now my dog gets to run circles around me too as we read. Okay, we are going to start on chapter 56, page 365. I'm so sad that this is almost over. I'm already anticipating, so the next book comes out May sometime. I'm gonna pre-order that, and the day it comes out, I'm ready to engulf it. This is reminding me of when I read Heartless Hunter. It was right before Rebel Witch was gonna come out, and I ended up actually book of the month, sent it to me earlier, which was so nice. So I literally finished Heartless Hunter, had no idea, had not heard any like good reviews about it. Finished it, it ended up being one of my top books. And then right after that, I got to read like Rebel Witch, and I like literally read it in like one sitting, like one day. So I have a feeling this is gonna be the same. This is giving me the same kind of vibes, if not better. One thing I absolutely love reading this is there's a journal entry, and it's Ellen's journal entry. I think that's how you say her name. And it's a look back at the past, and then we have the future. And when you're first reading it, you're like, who is this girl? How is she going to play a role into it? And then the more you read, you're like, oh my goodness, this matters so much. And who you think is somebody actually isn't somebody and is somebody else. But one of the sweet moments, they like look at each other and they understand each other by looking at each other. Maybe this is why I love this story so much, because they don't need to say anything. They just know and see each other at such a deeper level than any other person. Instead of jumping straight into anything, he like literally cups her face with his hands. And I just think that's so sweet. Maybe that's why I'm loving this story more than other stories, because it reminds me of me and my husband. There was always something different about my husband when we were friends or when we were in similar paths and stuff like that. And like we could just see each other in different lights that nobody else could. And there was always these times where I could just look across the room and understand him, even though other people wouldn't understand him, or I would put on a facade and no one would understand me. For some reason, he would like break down these walls that I would build up for every other person, but for him, I could talk freely to. And this story is giving that. And I think that's why I'm loving it so much. And then the first time he ever like touched her, basically, I don't know how else to say that, but he literally just simply cupped her face. And I think that's so sweet. And it's so similar to me and my husband's story. Like one of the first times ever we crossed the boundary of like friends to something more was he literally like cupped my face. Like I rested my like chin on his hand. There's these parallels, and maybe that's why I'm loving this story more than other stories, because it's reminding me of my own love story. But yeah, I'm eating this up. I'm currently on page 404 and I am making Texas cheese toast. Ooh, yummy, 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 yummy. I'm so excited. I'm gluten-free, and recently they've started pumping out all these gluten-free products. Like I have not been able to have Texas cheese toast or like garlic toast that you can get and like heat up since before I was gluten-free until this year. So I'm loving it. That's what I get for touching something that just came out of the oven.
Ooh. I feel like I need to make an ambiance for this. So after this video, I'm gonna create an ambiance because I'm not seeing any ambiances I'm obsessed with. I know this might look confusing, but I promise, just give me 1 second and then you're gonna be like, oh, everything makes so much more sense.
Okay, so I've decided I'm gonna make a book nook as we listen. So I'm literally moving my office from one room to another room and the guest bed from one room to another room while I'm listening to the audiobook. I'm also selling a ton of stuff on Facebook Marketplace, so this is literally the meme when my husband is at home versus when my husband is home. No, that's crazy. Oh my goodness, you could fillet me down the middle and I would still love you. That's crazy. Okay, pause real fast. Okay, I saw so many comments about this, is how frustrated people are about her basically being like, no, you can't love me and I don't want people to be close. And then people were like, I was just frustrated at her because she wouldn't get close with me. Oh my goodness. Obviously, this girl has been hurt. She has a lot of trauma. And if you have ever experienced a lot of trauma, it's just easier to keep people at a distance. Like, it's easier to not let people in too much. And even though, like, as a logical, like, if you're in a good mindset, you're like, no, like, you need to, like, let somebody in your life. But when you're so broken, you're not thinking logically, you are thinking, how do I protect myself or somebody else? Like, you honestly believe that you are a burden to somebody else. I get this main character so well, and it's so crazy how I can see me and my husband's love story in this. Because when me and my husband met, I was literally at a point where I was so broken, I didn't want anybody to see beyond the facade I put up. So like the smile I put on, no one else saw through my cracks besides my husband. And I kept pushing him away and I was like, no, we're only gonna be friends, He kept respecting my boundaries, but also he was like, I love you, basically. So I don't know, I just think that there's cool parallels. But also I saw a ton of reviews mad at her because they were like, why isn't she giving in? And I'm like, if you've ever been so hurt where you don't want to let people in, then you're not going to understand this kind of personality. And it's so exciting to hear this because I'm writing my own story and it is a fantasy story and it's heavily based on Christianity, me and my husband's story. It's a romantasy but with fantasy elements, political elements, and there's a fight between good and evil and shadows and things in society and corruptions and people being puppet masters and people using, like, there's so much complexity to it. And then it also goes into abuse and all these other things. So I think it's getting my creative like juices flowing, reading, like listening to this, because I'm like, oh my goodness, I get it. And people who do get that kind of trauma is gonna, I feel like, cling on to stories like this and be like, I get it. Like, I get it. I feel seen in a book. And I think it's so cool when an author can get a reader to feel seen in their book. I just think that is one of the coolest gifts as an author can do, and it helps you really uncover your own emotions. So for people who say that fiction doesn't like help with things, I really think it helps you grasp the world from somebody else's perspective. Whoever's writing it is trying to make you see the world from different perspectives. Even though it's this fantasy world, you're also getting all these ideas for your own world and how you respond to the world, what other people might be thinking, how people might react. Like, it's very much psychological, where you can see different theoretical ideas in society through characters and through storyline. I don't know, I thought that was so cool. Okay, we're gonna go back to making the books. You guys have to hear this. You want to love me too, but you're in the way of yourself. I don't know what happened to her after Saltra's fall, but I can see the fractures she hides so well, the missing pieces, the pain. She's just like Saltra, just as broken. What I wouldn't do to help her feel whole again, to piece her back together, much the same as I did her dress. Oh my goodness. The person who waits, who sees through your brokenness and wants to help piece you back together. Like, Okay, this has been so fun to like rearrange everything. I don't think I'll put this in this video, but you'll have to come back for another video to see what I have envisioned. We are on page 504. Last year, I was like so against audiobooks. I was like, no, you have to like read every single part of it. But then I realized with my schedule, there's only so much time you have to read, and in between it's fun to fill in the moments with like being able to do something while you're listening to the audiobook. The only funny thing with this audiobook is the guys that you don't like the people who are mean to dragons and stuff like that, you go from this, like, I don't know what they were thinking with these audio, you literally go from this like rough, like fantasy guy and girl voices to all of a sudden, for the people that we don't like them. They have these southern accents. And I just was not expecting it. They're like, what are you expecting? What are you? It's like that. I'm like, okay. So I don't know why they're doing the audio like that. But nonetheless, we're gonna carry on reading. We're almost done with this book, and I'm very sad about almost being done with this book.
Chapter 87 is wild. We got another POV. But the POV, let's just say I would not want to be him. That was crazy, but very well deserved.
You guys, we need to have a little chit chat. We need to have a little talk. I've just finished the book. I went and took a bath to finish the book. I was listening to it, I was reading it, and like literally it was one of those books where you sit in silence for a good freaking time. Like I just sat there after it was over, and I was like, what on earth did I just read? Like, what on earth was that? What on earth was that? And you're telling me I have to wait till May to read the other book? And you're telling me I just now discovered this book? Like, what? I seriously am at a loss. I'm at a loss because so many people on TikTok were telling me not to read it. They were like, don't read it. It's too much. Like, you're gonna be disappointed. The love story isn't even that good. Like, what? What? I'm so confused now. Like, do I trust people on TikTok anymore? Because what do you mean the love story wasn't cute? Like, what do you mean that the book wasn't well written? What do you mean? Like, I'm just at a loss. Because I've read several like book talk books, and that are like cute. They're cute, yeah. Yeah, we're raving. Okay, one, love Fourth Wing. Love Fourth Wing. I'm about to reread Fourth Wing. Like, let me just say that book I constantly still think about. So fantastic. But why are we putting like Fourth Wing on a pedestal and not this? Like, that's what I'm confused on. Like, why? Like, I liked Quicksilver, yeah. I liked Quicksilver. But like over this? What? Like, I'm so confused. I'm so confused. And like, what do you mean? I hate to say this, but what do you mean that we are hyping up the Powerless series and we aren't hyping up a series like this? Like, what do you mean we're giving great reviews to that series? And this is like the perfect balance of lyrical writing, banter. This is true enemies to lovers. This is true tension. Like, book talk, what are we doing? What are we doing? This is more high fantasy style book, so it takes more brain power. It takes more, like, there was several times I had to go back and I was like, okay, let me redo this chapter. Let me reread this chapter. Let me go back several times. So I would say if you're gonna read this, that would be something, give yourself grace. Allow yourself to go back. But also, like, this is literally like going into my top tier. I loved the love story, but it wasn't just the love story, it was the world building. It was like, there's so much. This was 600 some pages, yeah. I'm craving the next book. I will say, something to know when you're going into this is the first little part of the book, like, you really don't know what's going on. I think that's what loses people, and I can understand that. Like, it's not an easy read, it's a thought-provoking read. Like, you have so many details and so many elements, and it's truly a new world. Like, I mean, when you're reading Harry Potter, J.K. Rowling created an entire world, a new world that was outside of the concepts that other people had read about, which I think is what made her writing so good. This is very similar to that. It is a world that is different than another world. The world isn't even spinning on the same axis that we are, like day and night. You literally have, the world is like a flat. It's like flat. And you have literally several sections. One section where it's always day, one that's always like golden hour, and then one that's always nightfall. And it's so interesting, even how they have the dragons and they have the gods. And the gods also represent different things, but they also tie into the plot, and the dragons do too. And there's this interesting part where when a dragon dies, it literally turns into a moon. So it like goes up, some of them, if they're lucky enough, some of them don't, which is really sad and heartbreaking. But normally they go up into the sky and they harden into a moon. And it's so intriguing, but you have one of the quote unquote gods. Jesus is the only true God, just saying. So this is just in the books. But one of the quote unquote gods in the book literally enjoys the chaos and enjoys bringing moons down. And then there's this jewel that basically keeps him contained, and no moon has done. But there's like so many things in this book that are going into the next book. Like, I don't even know how to talk about it. I am probably not going to be the person to explain this book well, because my brain is trying itself to piece all the puzzle pieces together. It is such a good high fantasy, but also very romantasy. Like, if you like high fantasy books, but you want it a romantasy, this is gonna be the perfect thing for you. It's not like Lord of the Rings or something like that, where there isn't as much romance, but there's all these word building, or like Game of Thrones, where there's like sprinkles of romance, but it's not like in the center. This book is based on a romance story, but in a high fantasy, high stakes world. The romance is at the forefront of the plot, but the plot is so dense with so many details about the world, and about the politics that's going on in the back. So it truly is probably one of the most intriguing books I've read, because I don't think I've read a high fantasy book with romance at the center. This was done so good. So here's my rating of the overall book. It is a 5 freaking star read. It is on my 6-star reads, actually. There is only several books I've ever read that have met the 6-star read. That's crazy.
So you literally can't make this up. Just woke up and my books have already came from Amazon. Like, literally at 7 o'clock in the morning. We ordered these books at like 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock last. They like came at 4 a.m. in the morning. What? First, I didn't get all the Throne of Glass in order. So this is the last book of Throne of Glass series. Do you see how thick that is? I love having books as like trophies, all of the things I've read on like my Kindle, because if you just have it on your Kindle, then it's like, oh, da-da-da-da. But if I have the book, I can like think about I can look at it and think about the story again. I also can see how much of an accomplishment reading that book was, because you see this bad boy, huge. Okay, now the one we've all been waiting for. Oh, When the Moon Hatched. So this is a chunky book. I can't believe how much I love this book. And also I can't believe how fast this book did not feel this big. I've read smaller books that have felt longer than this book. Like, I'm debating on today going back through and audio listening to several portions of it and like noting down things in here. Like, I want to go through and annotate some of my Kindle. It was just so good. It was such a good read. This is a high fantasy world building book. I would compare this more to you are discovering a new world, kind of like Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings. Like, this is a world you've never went into before. There's a lot at stake, and I've also compared this to Game of Thrones, but instead of following 3 different plots, all in different locations, you're following to a certain degree one main plot from one main girl, at least in this book. And there are other plots going on at the same time that's going to go into your story, but our main focus is on this girl and her point of view. So it's almost like you followed Daenerys Targaryen. and her perspective on things. That is kind of what we are getting in this book. Again, though, we did uncover a lot of this world, a lot of secrets, a lot of things that are happening, but it's just the beginning, which I cannot believe she fit. Like, I think give this series another book or two and people are going to be eating it up.